Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Reese's Shed. We've just got to go down and take some old rusty parts to the storage, and then we'll get into this week's video. So I'll take you along with me, and then we'll get started when we get back. We're going to chuck all this stuff in the missus' car and take down to the storage.
What are you doing?
Taking some parts down to the storage?
No. Not in my car. I don't think so.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to have to find another way of getting these parts down the storage. Alright, so here she is in all her glory. This will be the new work truck. It is an Australian International, or Dodge AT4. AT4 stands for Australian Truck Series 4, and as you can see, we've got our work cut out for us. But it's going to be perfect for what we need it for, because we will be doing a lot of towing, and we need somewhere we can throw greasy, dirty, oily parts. And we've already established that I can't use the family cars for that. So let's have a look over it, and you guys tell me in the comments what you think. But I think this is a great addition to the fleet, and you guys will see this thing a lot more often, especially at events where we take the HQ, because this will be the workhorse, tow vehicle, whatever you want to call it. This thing will be my daily driver as well, so it'll be getting a lot of use. So let's have a look, and we'll talk through it all. So first things first, we'll pop the bonnet. Alright. Yep. And what becomes apparent immediately is the amount of rust repair that this needs. So the bonnet, front bonnet lip is gone. We've got a patch in here that needs to be repaired, and wowee. That looks scary, but I'm not scared. It's just metal, guys. That patch could be that small, or it can be huge. It makes no difference. Still the same amount of work. It's just a bigger piece of metal that goes in. So we'll be repairing the inside of the bonnet, or hood, or whatever you want to call it, and then obviously the strip down here. Same on the other side. So this can all be saved. All I'll do is I'll cut out a full strip here, put a whole new piece in. I'll put a 90-degree bend on it, and this is still good underneath, but that's no good. Alright, so that's the bonnet. Now, check this out. So, I don't know much about these. I've never really had anything to do with the Hemis. But this is either a 245 or a 265 Chrysler Hemi 6, and it has a 4-barrel carby on it already, which appears to be a 650 or 600 vacuum secondaries for the people that aren't in the know. And under here it actually looks pretty good. So I was having a look just a little bit earlier, and the radiator itself doesn't leak and looks like it's still in good condition. And the engine does turn over. See, engine turns over. Oop. So that's a good start. Doesn't look like the coil and leads and stuff like that's actually too bad, too old. That's obviously looks to me like it's a GT40 coil or something like that. So it's a 12-volt setup. this area here is of some concern because it looks like we've got a fair bit of rust in there and here, and basically all the way along the firewall. As you can see, there's a bit of rust, so we'll be pulling those hinges. We'll pull those bonnet hinges off and we'll have a good straight run at fixing that rust. And yeah, so I'm not so worried about this side of it because I think, as far as I can tell, these trucks were really reliable, so there's a good chance this engine's still a good runner. I know for a fact that the drive lines in these things, as in transmission diffs, are better than basically everything else on the road still. This has a truck box in it, so it's a 4-speed and like a Dana 60 or something like that diff. So I'll walk around the back and I'll show you that. As we go past, you can see we're PUDDINS Fab Shop Blue, which I love. I love this colour. We've got some rust here. So this cab's not the best, but it's not the worst. We've got some rust in the bottom of the door, which I'm not too phased about. We've got a bit of rust here, and we've got some rust going on along here. Basically take this all off, this whole rain channel. I'll trim that off and I'll make that flat and nice. All right, and then we come down to the back end here. So these are the I think they're called sun raisers, something like that. And I've got a set of 4 of those, so they're the wheels I'll be running. I won't be using the split rims, just because of personal preference. I'll be taking these tyres off, I'll be getting new tyres. I'll spray paint those wheels gloss black, and then we'll give this chassis a tidy up. We'll hit this with a wire buff, clean it all up. It's already set up with a tow hitch, which is great, and it's bolted into the chassis here, and someone's come along and welded here for some reason, but I'm not mad at it. That'll be fine, so long as it's actually properly mounted, which it is, with some bolts. I'm happy. Don't know if anyone knows what this was actually for, but we'll be cutting that off. And also this one here, I'm not sure what that was for. There's one of those on both sides. Just there, you can see there's some sort of tube or something welded to that. So we'll cut those off because we don't want them. And this is the star of the show here. So that is one whopper of a diff. And that will take anything we throw at it. Not sure of the ratio, but I don't really mind. I'm not going to be going fast in this thing. It's just going to be a workhorse, and whatever it has is what it's going to get. This car, this truck has 4-wheel drum brakes, so we'll most likely be leaving those as well. I'll can't even talk. We'll be renewing the drums, renewing the shoes, renewing the wheel cylinders, and the brake master cylinder and clutch master cylinder and slave. This whole system's going to get a going over because I want to drive this car every single day. So yeah, it's got to be safe. All right, looking over here at the cab. Great. The cab needs some work. It's got some rust along the bottom here. I'm not too scared about that either, to be honest. Looking around here, a little bit in the door, a little bit down the bottom, not bad at all. This side's starting to get some bubbles come through. Here's the kicker though, guys. This is the one. So I'll show you inside the door. Once again, don't be scared. The door's open perfectly. And that makes me happy. All right, so check this out. So this here, at some point this whole truck was repaired and painted, but a big piece of this fell out when we brought it back here, and it was just a massive chunk of body filler. So this was repaired poorly, and because of that has continued to rust away, and I'm still not even worried. I'm just going to cut out what's no good and plate it back in. We can get back to here where we've got some good metal, and build off of that if we have to. Whatever we got to do is what we're going to do. So this is the worst part of the whole entire truck right here, but I'm not worried about it. We just got to fix it because I actually love this truck. It's got a special spot in my heart, and I don't even know why, because I've never seen one up until today. Well, up until I bought this, I'd never seen this exact truck before, but I just love it, and it's the right color and it's the right vibe, and I just can't wait to get it on the road. So inside here you can see I've got some wheels, the sun raisers I was telling you about, nice little blanket on the seat there, and tons of rust that's fallen out from up the top up here. So I think what we'll do firstly is we'll go around the other side and open up the door and have a look. But as you can see, this is still all in good condition here. Don't worry about the rust there. Not too worried about that. It's in good condition right up until here. This has just got to be fixed up. The door's all good. Tiny little section in the bottom which I'm not worried about because I don't really need to worry about fixing doors right now. We just want to make the cab safe. Let's go around the other side, have a quick look inside the door. Alright, sounds like the kids up the road are having a bit of a screaming match. So we'll just probably wait for them. Alright, so where I've brought this down from, okay, kids are still screaming. Okay, so where I brought this down from, it wasn't undercover or anything like that, so it's a bit yucky inside, not gonna lie, but this is how you get them if you want to get them cheap. Anyway, so I've got the original steering wheel on there, which we'll probably end up having to do something with, just in case there's any damage. Probably have to fill up these cracks. These actually have a steel frame inside of there, so this is just cosmetic, it's not a big deal. So what we'll do is we'll fix them up, put a horn button or something on there, or just a cap. Looks like over here we've got a horn button anyway. All the original dash is still in here. Indicators, that feels like it still works. I do have the key for it somewhere, don't know where. But yeah, move some of this stuff up. Now, still got the original shifter. Still got the original headlight switch down there on the floor. We've got a bunch of wiring that's hanging, and I think this is for the choke. Oh, no, it must be for the lights. Alright, that's the original light switch. So everything's still in here. Still got some sun visors. Everything we need's here. It is rough and needs rust repair, as you can see. I'll fix all this up as well. Like I said, it's not a 5-minute job, but this is something that once we get sorted, geez, sun's in my eyes. Once we get this sorted, it'll be invaluable. So I'll just chuck it in between jobs throughout the next, I don't know, however long it takes to get it on the road. But we definitely need something like this, and I think this is the one. So I think what we're going to do now is in the morning we'll come out here and we'll try and get this thing to at least start up, like fire up. See if we can get it to move. And if that does happen, we're one step ahead. So I have been told that it probably does run, but it hasn't run in a long time. So hey, maybe we might have a runner, maybe not. We'll just play it by ear at this point. But yeah, so this is the new rig. I'm really excited about it because it's nice to have a drag car, but it's also really nice to have a road car that you enjoy driving and that sticks out and is a bit of an extension of your personality, which for me, I think you guys probably know by now, I'm not really into fancy things or new things or anything like that. This is my style, the old work truck, rough and ready. All right, I'll see you in the morning. Okay, as you can tell, this isn't the morning, it's actually quite late in the afternoon, but we're gonna get stuck into this car now, see if we can get this truck to fire up, and hopefully we've got a good engine here. So the first thing we've got to do is put a battery in. So I've grabbed one of the spare batteries from out the shed, so I'll bolt that up in just a minute. Once we've got the battery on there, I want to get this thing turned over, make sure the starter motor works. And then we'll turn it over and check the coil, make sure we've got some spark, and then we'll get a fuel system up to it. So let's get started. Probably need to put a better battery terminal on there than that. So we'll go down the shed and we'll find another battery terminal and we'll come back. Okay, got the battery in there. Got the terminals tightened down, and now we've got to get inside the cab and see if we can get this thing to crank over from the key. I guess what we could do is just jump it for now, just to see if the starter motor turns over, so we'll probably do that. I'll get my jumper wire out and we'll set that up. Okay, I've got the starter motor jumper wire connected up. We'll give this a try and see if we can get this engine to crank over. So I'll show you what I've done. Now, hopefully you can see, we've got, this is your power supply from your battery, and then this one here, this red one, is your trigger. So that has to go straight to battery positive. So all I've done is alligator clamped that, and then this end here just go straight up to there. If you guys don't already know, the starter motor will be grounded directly to the battery through the block. So hopefully that ground is good. We're about to find out. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that to me sounds like the solenoid's playing up, potentially the brushes inside there. So I might get a hammer and just give that a couple of taps on the side here, see if we can free it up and try again. Once again, guys, get your best hammer and give this thing a couple of taps on the side. Not too hard, you don't want to break it, but not too gentle either, because you actually want to do something. I did think of something as well when I was going down the shed to get this, and I should have mentioned that this truck's in neutral, and you should always make sure the vehicle's in neutral before you bridge out your starter motor and try and get this thing to crank over, because you might just get run over. So I did check that it was in neutral first. Just letting you guys know that's a good plan. Alright, let's give this starter motor a bit of a crack. Once again, for everyone that doesn't know, get the hammer and hit here on the metal section. Do not hit here, do not hit here, and do not hit anything around here. Just here, that's it. Okay? So, get your hammer, and use the flat edge of it so that you're not caving it in. Let's have another try. Alright, where's the end of this wire? That is not happy. Okay. Might be pulling the starter motor out. Let's just check again to make sure this thing actually does turn. Yep. The engine definitely turns. Engine definitely turns. Alright. Yeah, we got starter motor problems here, fellas. Alright, give it a couple more taps. Okay guys, so I've given this thing quite a few hits with a hammer now, and we're not really getting anywhere. I think this starter motor's had enough. So, one more go and then we're pulling it out. No. Alright, it's dead. Let's pull it out of there and have a look at it. Disconnect the battery. Okay, battery's disconnected. What do I need here? 1/2 inch for that. Looks like 5/8 and 5/8. Alright, go and get some spanners. Alright, got the ground off the bottom and the nut. So the starter motor should just pull out now. Just like that. Okay. Well, it's not seized. The one-way clutch is working, so that's good. Let's get this off and have a look inside. Does look like someone's been playing with this already. Looks like I've got a wire that's been soldered onto the switching terminal, and when I was playing with this before I did notice the switching terminal was actually stuck in there, and this nut here definitely isn't a factory nut. The threads there look a bit rough, and then this ceramic or whatever it is all broken. So I'm not that optimistic, but we'll still have a crack at it because this is Reese's shed and this is what we do. So let's just at least get it apart. We're gonna have to go and get a socket for this one. 9/16 and a flat blade screwdriver. Okay. That's coming off all right. Not too worried about it. Take the whole thing off. Take the whole thing out and then we'll pull it apart. Okay. That's one. I need to get the second one out. There we go. Both of them are out. Alright guys, so I've got this all apart now. This is the solenoid, and what I've done is I've bridged the wire from the starting post over to your power supply, and what you want to do now is ground the body and then put this to power, and this, if it's working, will draw in. Okay, that'll draw in like that. If it's not working, nothing will happen, and it's a pretty good chance that you'll hear some sort of load, but you won't have any movement. So straight across the battery here. Okay, let's move you guys over there so you can see better. Okay, so this is the ground side of the battery, the body of the solenoid across the ground. You can hear that arcing. It's trying to do something, but it can't. So there's something wrong with this solenoid. We can pull it apart and have a look inside there. So we'll do that quickly, and if we don't find anything, we'll go and grab another solenoid off one of the other starter motors out in the storage. Hopefully I've got something that will match. Let's quickly rip this off here. Okay. So this thing here, this is just a big electromagnet basically. So when power is applied, the magnet is applied, and that closes the contacts, allowing power to flow from here to here and start. So anyway, this should just be a post. Oh, that's not good. I think we're about to find out what the problem is. So I'll do that. That's it, guys. So you just get your soldering iron in there and heat up your terminals, and that'll pop straight off. Okay? Now, time to have an inspection. So it's this one here specifically that is worn down, and this one corresponds with that one there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that one there is pretty bad. It's been buried basically. So now we have to go along and remedy that without breaking anything. Not great news. I've come to the realization that I can't get the center out of that solenoid. I can't get to the brushes or anything. All I can get to is the contacts. And what I would usually do if I could get to it is I would take this top piece of the contacts off and flip-flop it over so that we've got a good surface to use. But this is non-serviceable, and it's actually been crimped over. So the only way I can get this apart would be to destroy it, and I don't want to do that because I want to actually see if this engine will turn over. So what I've actually done is I've got the burnt terminal out of the bad side, the side that was up against the bad side here before, and I've decided I'm going to put the bad terminal onto the good side, and then this side here will be up against the fresh side of this. So we might get something to happen, I'm hoping. Other than that, putting a new solenoid in it, but we'll try this for now, get it back together and just see what happens. Okay, that's one. Okay, now I need to chuck that starter wire back on wherever that ended up, and then we're good to go. Okay, let's see if this works this time. Oh, something's moved. Okay. Alright guys, we didn't have a win today. Got out here pretty late. Only got a couple of hours to muck around with it, and we didn't really get anywhere except for the fact that now we know we need a starter motor. So, shorter video this week. Things are happening behind the scenes with the HQ. I've been doing rust repairs. I might do a video on that. I've got some footage there, but it's really up to you guys if you want to see rust repairs on this channel. I've done rust repairs before and it didn't really take off. Nobody really was interested in that, so we will be doing rust repairs on this truck, but that'll be this truck will be a build series all on its own. But yeah, as I say, the HQ, that's still tinkering away in the background, getting the boring stuff out the way, so we can get it ready to race. But we'll be back onto that next week, and yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked the truck. This will be coming in and out over the next few months, I guess, onto the channel and then off and then on as I get motivated to do stuff on it. But we'll still be focusing on the HQ for now. So yeah, drop us a like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.